Doing a review today, discussion rather, on which Bible translation you should read. Reason I'm doing this review, I know someone that had actually posted on YouTube, and they do a lot of Bible translations. I consider them the premier authority, one of the best person that does Bible reviews. He also does written reviews at the BibleBind.com, which basically someone was criticizing him of the Bible that he was doing a review on. Not only not the Bible, but the translation. So, a lot of times people that do Bible reviews, they do that as a labor of love. They do this on their own time. I do Bible reviews, and I do the Bible reviews myself. I've got a handful of Bibles. I got a couple publishers that have sent me Bibles to do review, but most of the Bibles I purchased myself that I do reviews on. So this is a labor of love. So no translation makes you more spiritual or more holy than any other translation. So whether someone's in the other than the King James camp or the King James only camp, the truth is not one translation can make you live righteous, because I know people that basically have preached from the King James and gotten in all sorts of sin, and just as well, other than King James, people have gotten in sin and done some unheard of things. So it is your walk with God what makes you holy, makes you live right, where you can live a right, upstanding life. He equips you to do that there. So whatever translation you can grow from, because everybody's didn't come from a background. I was raised up in a church which they use King James. Church I go to now currently use King James, and a lot of times I have preached from the King James. My preferred translation, especially in my study, is either the New American Standard or the Legacy Standard. A lot of times I preach just for fluidity. I will preach from the New King James because I know that the majority of my audience has a King James and they can easily follow along with me, even though the wording can be a little bit, but it's from the same Texas receptors. But my preferred translation, New American Standard, I consult other translations. So in my study, I go in and look at different 8 to 12 different translations when I'm doing my study or sermon preparation, just to see how other translation translated the Bible. This here is what they call a parallel Bible here. So this is a one that has multiple translations. This has the King James, the New King James, the New International Version, and the New Living Translation all in one. So this is how this is laid out here. And this one here is another parallel Bible. And this is the NIV, KJV, New American Standard, and the Amplified. This is all in one Bible. So this is the layout on that particular one there. So when people, if they kind of like go off the rails, I would just go ahead and delete the comment. So if anyone has a disagreement with this review, you can leave your cell phone number and I'll reach out to you, but we're not going to go back and forth on in the comment section. I've done the same way with Facebook, where someone may disagree and I say, you know what, here's my phone number, you can give me a call. We can have a discussion, but we're not going to go back and forth in the social media world and back and forth with the whole world, because that's not a good spirit of a Christian to be attacking another Christian because of the translation that they use. I've seen people go both ways in this here, where they're criticizing one and they really don't understand the theory behind translation, whether it's a Texas receptive or critical text. So a lot of times in the verses that's in the critical text, which is a older translation that dates back further, and there might be some words that for some reason where they were trying to convey a thought, may have been a word or two added in, and as nothing was taken away. I kind of looked at Acts 8:38, and that's not in a lot of the translations, but if you look in the footnotes in the NIV, it is still there in the footnotes. So in the same way with the ESV, it's in the footnote. Now the New American Standard or the Legacy Standard Bible, what they do in both of those translations, they just put it in brackets and say this was not in earlier translation, but they leave it in the text. All translations will help you grow in your walk with God. So I recommend using multiple translations. But if the New American Standard is your translation, that is great. If the NIV is your translation, that is great. there's only two translations that I would tell you to never even touch, and that is the Book of Mormon for one, and the Jehovah Witness Bible. I would say run away from those two because those are cultic Bible translations, and I consider both of those organizations cults. Now, for as there's some translations that you have to use, kind of be how you got to use them wisely. It's like the Message Bible. I consider that more of a concordance than a Tesseract translation, and the same way with the Living Bible. That is more of I consider that more of a paraphrase. So both of those are paraphrase. Those are not translations. So you have two theories for types of Bibles. There's literal translations, and there is thought for thought translations. So all, whether it's NIV, that is a thought for thought. The CSV is a dynamic equivalent. The New American Standard is a word for word, same with the Legacy Standard Bible and the ESV Bible. Those are all word for word translations. All those are great. I recommend consulting them all. If you have Bible software, it's easy. You can just actually go to and look at multiple translations. If you don't, go ahead and pick up you one of these here. Any type of, parallel Bibles. That would be great. They will add to your study, and you would get a lot out of those there. And so I teach also at the church I go to, and when I'm in a teaching environment, which I'm teaching, and I know everybody has a King James, and I'll ask sometimes, what did this word mean? And a lot of times I get people, and I get multiple answers, and a lot of times, a lot of them are wrong. So basically, get a concordance. There's nothing wrong with the King James. I grew up on the King James. When I got saved, actually, I'd been out of church, I'd been away from church for years. I started reading in my very beginning when I was a new Christian. I started reading in a child's Bible. And so I just wanted to get and I quickly graduated from that. But that was my first start out for the first 3-4 weeks as a brand new Christian once I got saved. And when I'd been a backsliding Satan, so away from God, really didn't understand God when I was a teenager. So in my early 30s, I came back to Christ. Gave my life to Christ, and God thoroughly saved me. Now, the church I was in was a King James church, and I also used the New King James. And then I actually picked up about 3 years into my walk a New American Standard and fell in love with that translation. So it does not matter what translations. And it's not Christ-like to be bashing folks and telling folks which translation they should read. Some people like a certain type of food. I like a variety. Some people do not care for Chinese food or Thai food. I happen to love it. I enjoy a variety. So don't be critical of other people. Let them grow in whatever translation that they're using, and be blessed. If you prefer a translation, that is a matter of personal choice. It is not for anybody's place to bash somebody, to go at someone and say you shouldn't be reading this translation there when you probably don't even understand the translation that you're talking about. So have a blessed day in the Lord, and may you grow in your walk with the Lord. If this video has been helpful to you, click the like button. And I appreciate all my subscribers that subscribe to my channel. They help me grow this page. And so if you're new to this here page, go ahead and review. Take a look at some of my Bible reviews. I have Bible reviews on King James, New King James, New American Standard, Legacy Standard, NIV, NLT. I got multiple types of translation that I've done reviews on, and those Bible reviews have been a blessing to the different audience that have watched those, and a lot of people have thanked me for each of those Bible reviews of each of those different type of translation. And the whole purpose of this channel is to help people grow in their walk with Lord. So may you have a blessed day in the Lord. God bless each and every one of you.